Hi, I'm Juan.
And I'm Maya.
And we're still continuing doing Eagle's Eye. Today we did a special interview.
I got the chance to interview the new head football coach. It's really exciting, and I'm excited for the season.
So let's check out that interview.
Hi, I'm Maya, here with the new football head coach, Coach Milligan, for the 2018-2019 season. So can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I am a Norristown grad, born and raised in Norristown. Product of two parents who were born and raised in Norristown themselves, who were high school sweethearts. I graduated in the class of '96. I then went eventually on to Fairfield University, and I became a four-year starter there. Got a BS in computer science. Then I went to start coaching at Mount Ida College and back to Fairfield, where I earned my master's in education technology. And within that time period too, I also played a little arena ball and I played overseas. And then I ended up coming back here where Coach Smith got me hooked into high school football.
How did the hiring process work?
It was definitely a rigorous one. Coming in, they did have us sit down and kind of do a letter of recommendation. So that was definitely new for me to do at that point in time, and to only do it within 10 minutes. So, like I said, being under that pressure, we're usually, you write a letter of recommendation, which I have for other students because I've taught at high school level. Mm-hmm. But to have to do it in 10 minutes was kind of like, on the ball. And then, of course, they asked us some questions. And then, like I said, at that point, then we went and did some X's and O's on the board.
And were there a lot of candidates?
From what I know of, there were at least, I think about maybe either it was 28 or 17. I know one of those numbers stick out. Mm-hmm. And then they kind of cut it down to I think it was about 7 or something towards the end.
And when you were in high school, college, what position did you play?
When I was here, I actually played receiver and free safety. In college, I was a wide receiver.
What made you want to take the job?
Well, like I said, not too often do you get a chance to come back to your alma mater and actually coach there and become the head coach. So I saw it as a special opportunity, to put my hat in the ring and see what happens, and I'm here.
What is your favorite memory at Norristown?
Probably I would say one of my favorite memories was, kind of have two. Coming out of the tunnel down at Roosevelt when we used to have the smoke machine and everything, so that was pretty exciting. And then also at graduation, as they were going through things and then certain awards, and then come to find out it was me and another young lady who were the only two students who had perfect attendance K through 12. Who
is your coaching staff?
On my current staff right now, I have myself. I have Coach Rara Lucene. He's my assistant head coach. I have my brother, Donald Milligan, who is also alumni. I have Herschel Thornton, who's also alumni. I have Terrell Ellis, who's also alumni. I have Collier Adams. The last three guys I named, we ended up coaching when I was here previously, who's also alumni. Greg Bates and Kenny Adams, they're also alumni who are a little older than me. And then I have two guys who are from outside the program to give that other look that we can do a little bit differently. A guy named Keontae Moore. He's a PW grad but has strong ties here at Norristown. Some of his cousins I played with. And then Andrew Scanlon, who I believe his uncle played quarterback here. I know his mom and his family do have ties here in Norristown.
And why is it important that they're all tied with Norristown?
To kind of bring back that mystique that Norristown had. A lot of older people or people who've been around and all across the state will tell you, Norristown was like their Super Bowl. No matter what sport it was, basketball, soccer, football, if they had a chance to play Norristown, they were bringing their best game. And those guys know it, to kind of bring back the tradition. And not to say that, the current students don't know it, but they understand that the height and level of it, and to bring that to them. And we have the ability and the actually talent to bring that back. Mm-hmm. So just getting those guys to understand that, it's a different era. I know you'll hear it from your parents and stuff that, things were different, when they grew up and everything, and they are. So like I said, with the youth of social media, you guys are able to get more things out and to do that, and then, also to put Norristown on the map and athletically to show these guys, hey, you know what, there's more to it. Let's actually uplift this and take this to what I was saying now, Norristown 2.0. We're no longer at Roosevelt, so that kind of old tradition we want to kind of transfer to our new home, the new nest up here at the high school.
Right.
So
where do you want to see this program in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would like to see this program actually contending for a district final championship and eventually going to a state playoff berth. That's kind of the goal. So to say, hey, that's what we want to do. And then also not only just that on that part, but also to have at least, half of our seniors from the graduating class at least go on to some type of major college and try to make sure that all our seniors that are graduating actually play at a different level, be it at a trade school, be it at a Division III school, 1, 2, or 1 AA, but to make sure that those guys are being successful and we set them up as young men to be successful in society.
So what's your strategy for the upcoming season?
Right now it's just to make sure that these guys understand what it is. I have this saying, I got this saying from college, you have to earn the right to win. Things aren't going to be given to them. Nowadays you guys can just pick up a phone and say, hey, I want food, and send it to you, and then they'll even take it out your bank account and everything for you. But get these guys, things aren't going to be given to them, especially being from Norristown, as they can see from last year when they played Boyertown. Things are going to be actually taken away from you more and more and more. So you got to actually fight and fight and fight and make sure you actually earn that right to win. And then as you fight more, you actually get that win. So to get those guys to understand and to kind of buy into our program. So like I tell them, they have to trust me. I'm going to trust them on the field to help, make my philosophy and everything successful. But they need to trust me and understand that, hey, I'm going to put them in the best situation to actually be productive young men and make sure that they get a chance to enjoy not only just football, but stuff off the field also.
And what's your strategy for building the team?
Building the team, my kind of strategy is not my strategy per se. It's what my coaching staff has. I like to actually build up my coaching staff and let them get a chance to coach and let them get a chance to do things. I know Coach Hussein has set up some things with the actual armed service to come in and do some team building stuff. We're going to do some team building stuff, outside of the season, during the off season. So like little things, we might just do dodgeball one weekend, or we might go out and do a paintball game, or we might go bowling or stuff. So we got to set those things up and kind of get these guys to understand, they're now brothers. No matter what, wherever household they come from, whatever color they might be or race they might be. But the fact that now they are playing together and it's a brotherhood now. And as they become, alumni from this program, I'm not just their coach. Now I'm also their older brother because we both come from and graduated from Norristown.
Yeah. So what do you think makes a good football player?
It's that will, that determination. I've seen guys who weren't the biggest, who weren't the fastest, who weren't the strongest, but also who always outworked their opponent, also knew where to be. Make sure they was actually smart, and knowing their details, their jobs. So, the strength and physicality is also great. But what can actually beat that is knowing your technique, knowing where you're supposed to be. Because I was one of those guys. One of my best friends, he was one of the fastest guys in the country at the time. Not too many guys get a chance to go from Norristown and then go down to the University of Florida to actually play. And down there's some speed. His name was, we called him Bo Carroll. His name was Damon Carroll. He's a graduate from here. But, he had the God-given, gifts, and he actually went out and played. Whereas I didn't have some of those gifts. I had to actually work hard, and, I kind of found myself on the field. That happened here where it caused me to work, and then when I transferred to, it allowed me to transfer that thought process in college when I got to Fairfield. It was 120 freshmen coming in and starting the program. So I was one out of 120 to actually go ahead and become a 4-year starter. So those odds are pretty, like I said, tough to do. So there were some guys out there that were bigger than me, faster than me. They even tried to bring in guys to recruit over me, but I always outworked them to make sure I stayed on the field.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about Norristown?
I would probably say it's our pride. No matter who you talk to, what it's about, as we go outside of Norristown, we carry our pride with us. We carry that blue and white as we meet or make friends from other school districts and go around. And sometimes when we leave the state, they kind of cling to us because there's something special about it. I don't know if it's in the water. I'm not sure if it's in the air. But, just that whole pride thing about being from Norristown, that's something very special.
How can students and the community support?
They can support first things by, one, being positive amongst each other, uplifting each other. Kind of if you see them kind of, like, hey, aren't you supposed to be a football player? Also, instead of saying negative, oh, you guys suck, this and that. No, like, yo, good luck this season. Yo, let's turn this thing around. Like some of the community members or older adults could also just, help out if they want to give any type of donation. That'd be great. If they want to come around and just give some choice of words, or like I said, even support. Also go out and be a ref, because there are a few people here from Norristown who are actually referees. There's a lot of people who know the game who could actually be a ref in basketball, football, field hockey, soccer, whatever. And as they go out and actually become a ref and actually work more and become an official, now they get to work some of the games that we might be in and get to understand and show the people that things like that might have happened at Boardtown or other games that might have happened, like even when we played, that, hey, you know what, no, Norristown is here. These kids deserve the right to have a fair game, fair shot, so give it to them.
So the league we're in, Pac-10, is really competitive. What are the challenges?
I guess for me right now is not knowing some of the schools. I mean, eventually we'll get to it. We'll break down the film and understand what they like to do. But to me, when I was in the suburban one and we played teams, week in, week out, like your North Penns, your Neshammonys, your Abingtons, there were your Trumans, your Ben Salems, your Council Rocks, were some of the stronger and dominant schools in the district. To me, it's not a fear. Not to say I don't respect those schools. Mm-hmm. I do respect them because, they have put teams in the playoffs. So, but like I said, to be in that kind of smash mouth, that hard-nosed environment where, from what I'm hearing, this league is a more athletic league versus more of a hard smash mouth league than I'm accustomed to.
So, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, just everyone come out and support, be at the games. Like I said, just continue to uplift each other, not only on the field but off the field. Stay positive. You guys want to buy some gear, we'll have gear and stuff out there for you guys. Just have a fresh look. But like I said, the main thing is to stay positive with each other. And like I said, remember, they're out there now representing you as football players. So, as people go around and you might say you from Norristown, they might say, well, do you know so-and-so football player? So remember, it's a big family now. It's not just they're the football team or they're a football player. But the world is bigger than Norristown, and we want to represent it as we go out in that world and we show each other that, Norristown is a strong community, and we're kind of bringing that back.
Well, congratulations for this.
Thank you.
Hope it's a good season, and good luck.
Thank you.
So I'm Maya here with Joseph Milligan, the new head coach for the football team.